Have you ever felt a sting in your chest, yet told yourself it was just how life is? Maybe a joke cut too deep, a hug felt more like a cage, or a promise sounded caring but stole your choice. We keep these moments close and label them love, because if we called them harm, the ground beneath us might crack. Little hurts pile up until they feel normal, and that normal keeps us stuck. Today we turn on a light. Carl Jung, a giant of modern psychology, warned that whatever we refuse to face in daylight will rule us in the dark. In this video, you'll meet 8 warning signs he would beg you never to excuse, behaviors that seem gentle, yet quietly erase who you are. Some signs will shout, others may feel eerily familiar, and one might point to a wound you thought had healed. We are not here to blame. Our aim is simple: shine a light, find the truth, and help you step free. Because once you spot a pattern, you can break it. Stay with me to the end. The last sign reveals the quickest way to take your story back. If any part of this message sparks a memory, treat it as the start of freedom, not a flaw. You don't have to keep calling pain love. You only need to see the pattern once, name it, and choose different. Before we begin, remember, change rarely starts with shouting. It begins with one clear thought and a small, brave step. By pressing play, you've already taken that step. Now take a deep breath, walk with me through the door, and let your clearer life begin. Picture your mind as a house. The bright rooms up front, the smiles, good manners, and I'm fine are what you show guests. Down a hallway sits a locked cellar where you hide feelings you think are too much. Carl Jung called this hidden place the shadow. It is not evil. It is simply the parts of you that never got a warm welcome. At first, keeping that door shut feels safe. People praise you for being easygoing, selfless, or always there. Every compliment turns the key a little tighter, trapping real needs in the dark. But what you exile will not stay quiet. It leaks out sideways, in sudden anger you can't explain, restless nights, or friendships where you give until you are empty. The shadow hates silence, so it sends signals, begging to be seen. You might sacrifice your weekends to people who drain you, hoping their thanks will fill the space where your own needs should live. You may even call this sacrifice growth, because it sounds noble and keeps the peace. Yet growth that costs your core self is not growth. It is slow erasure. Jung warned that until you drag the shadow into daylight, it will steer your life and you will call it fate. The partner who mocks your dreams, the friend who demands your silence, the family rule of don't stir trouble. They look random, but they are magnets, pulled by the parts of you you've buried. The cure is not to smash the lock, but to open the door with respect. Ask the hidden pieces what they need: rest, a firm no, or simply permission to take up space. When you listen, the cellar turns into a studio where lost parts become tools for freedom. Awareness, not endurance, heals what the heart can't see. But what if someone else controls the light switch, twisting your memories until you doubt every thought? Keep watching, because that darkness has a name, and it's our next warning sign. Gaslighting is a slow rewrite of your life story. It starts small. A partner denies that hurtful comment you know you heard. A friend claims you imagined the tense silence that followed an argument. You shake your head, then shake off the doubt. But the seed is planted. Maybe your memory is weak. Maybe you really are too sensitive. Over time, the gaslighter chips away at your certainty. Each denial pulls another brick from your sense of reality until the whole wall wobbles. Jung warned that what you will not make conscious will rule you. Gaslighting replaces your inner compass with the abuser's map. You begin to question your own feelings first and theirs last. A calm apology from them can feel like a gift, even after days of confusion. Soon you rely on the gaslighter to confirm what is true, what is safe, even who you are. Self-trust shrinks, dependence grows, the damage is deep, memory pathways blur, confidence thins, anxiety rises. You may start cataloging proof, screenshots, notes, voice messages, anything to prove to yourself later that you are not losing it. But proof is useless if you hand it back to the one rewriting the script. Real escape begins when you anchor your truth outside the gaslighter's reach. That might be a journal, a therapist, or a friend who believes your first word. If the shadow is a locked cellar inside you, gaslighting is someone else dimming the lights and insisting the darkness is cozy. It is not. It is a trap that feeds on your doubt. The only antidote is clarity, naming what is happening as it happens, and stepping away while you can still see the exit. And once your compass spins, the next trap often comes dressed as protection, limits that claim to keep you safe while quietly shrinking your world. Let's walk into that room next. Imagine a partner who asks where you are, just to be sure you're okay, who dislikes certain friends because they're bad influences, who wants your phone passcode in case of emergency. Alone, each request sounds caring. Together, they form a cage. Control dressed as concern starts with small fences. A comment about the outfit that attracts the wrong attention. A sigh when you plan a night out without them. A raised eyebrow at a new goal that would pull you farther from home. Jung wrote that what people reject in themselves, they try to manage in others. A controlling partner often hides inner chaos behind rules for your life. They promise safety but trade it for your freedom. At first, you comply to keep peace. They worry because they love me. Soon, you ask permission before making plans, or you drop hobbies that don't fit their vision. Autonomy shrinks, identity bends. The cost is subtle but heavy. Each tiny self-betrayal trains your nervous system to link love with limitation. You may forget how to enjoy time alone, how to decide for yourself, how to feel spontaneous. The world narrows to avoid their disapproval, and you call the tiny space comfort. Yet real love does not confine, it expands. It cheers your risks, respects your friendships, and trusts your judgment even when you disagree. Freedom does not mean secrecy or recklessness, it means choice. If someone labels your choices dangerous or selfish simply because they can't control them, pause. Ask whose fear is speaking. Healthy care offers handrails, not handcuffs. And when control grows ordinary, it can morph again. This time wearing the mask of honesty, using sharp words to keep you small. That razor-edged truth is our next red flag. Honesty should land like fresh air, even when it stings. Contempt lands like broken glass. You will know contempt by its tone, rolling eyes, mocking laughter, a sentence that starts with, "I'm just being real," and ends with you feeling 2 inches tall. Over time, repeated disdain erodes self-worth faster than outright insults, because it hides behind the noble banner of truth. Jung believed the personality needs affirmation to grow. Constant criticism starves that growth. It tells you your ideas are naive, your dreams childish, your feelings dramatic. You stop sharing wins for fear there'll be nothing special. You stop voicing needs, sure they'll be called needy. Contempt is emotional sandpaper. One swipe seems harmless, but many swipes leave skin raw. The trap deepens when you adopt the contemptuous voice as your own. You rehearse their put-downs in your head, editing yourself before you speak. Self-doubt becomes a habit, and small risks, writing a song, applying for a course, even choosing a bold shirt, feel like battles you've already lost. Real honesty speaks with care. It can be blunt, yet never belittles. If someone claims their cruelty is your growth plan, remember, there is no virtue in decay. Constructive feedback aims to build, not break. Love sharpens, but it never shreds. Challenge contempt the moment it appears. State calmly that sarcasm and sneers are not discussions, they are walls. If the other person will not switch to respect, you may need to walk elsewhere to protect your voice. But when blunt words fail to dominate, the next weapon slips into humor, sarcasm that cuts while everyone laughs. Listen close, the joke might be a glove-hiding clause. Sarcasm can spice a moment when shared in equal fun. Yet when every joke points at you, humor becomes a blade. The pattern is easy to miss. A partner or friend makes a jab, then claims you can't take a joke. You laugh along to prove you're relaxed. Inside, unease grows. The next joke dips deeper, exposing a private fear or past hurt. You laugh again, more stiffly, worried that refusing will label you sensitive. Jung observed that what stays unspoken becomes projected. A sarcastic tongue often masks resentment or envy. The joker tosses their hidden anger onto you, then blames you for bleeding. Over time, you may doubt your right to feel stung. You rehearse comebacks in your head, but stay silent in the moment to avoid drama. Dignity erodes, slice by slice. Sarcasm's danger is its camouflage. Outsiders hear laughter, not harm. You seem in on the joke. That secrecy chains you. The cure is clear naming. That joke feels like a put-down, not play. If the other person reacts with more blame, you have your answer. The humor was never harmless. Healthy bonds allow playful teasing, but both sides feel safe and seen. If you must numb yourself to stay in the circle is broken. Yet what happens when even the jokes stop and all you hear is silence? Beware, the quiet can punish louder than any punchline. Real honesty speaks with care. It can be blunt, yet never belittles. If someone claims their cruelty is your growth plan, remember, there is no virtue in decay. Constructive feedback aims to build, not break. Love sharpens, but it never shreds. Challenge contempt the moment it appears. State calmly that sarcasm and sneers are not discussions, they are walls. If the other person will not switch to respect, you may need to walk elsewhere to protect your voice. But when blunt words fail to dominate, the next weapon slips into humor, sarcasm that cuts while everyone laughs. Listen close, the joke might be a glove-hiding clause. Disagreement is natural. Disappearing is a choice. Weaponized withdrawal looks like unanswered texts, sudden coldness, or full ghosting after conflict. The silent partner claims they need space, yet offers no timeline or explanation. Meanwhile, you scramble to fix what you don't understand. Jung said regression into the shadow is an immature defense. Silence wrapped in mystery is exactly that. Emotional timeout used as a hammer. This tactic flips power. The one who speaks feels exposed. The silent one feels superior. You replay every word you said, hunting for the mistake that shut the door. Anxiety spikes. You send longer texts, gentler calls. Each attempt feeds their control. They can return whenever, praised for cooling off, while you've spent days in emotional exile. Continuous withdrawal reshapes your sense of safety. You learn to police your tone, tiptoe around topics, and predict storms before they break. Relationships should be weathered together. Weaponized silence strands you in the rain alone. Healthy space is negotiated, not inflicted. It comes with reassurance. I need an hour to calm down, but I'm here. Absence without anchor is not peace, it is punishment. If someone vanishes whenever feelings heat up, note the pattern. Name your need for dialogue. If they refuse and repeat the vanish and return routine, see it for what it is, control, not coping. Your voice deserves an ear, not a locked door. Silence wounds, yet the deepest cut is the slow starve of empathy. When your heart's needs meet a blank stare, let's face that famine next. Empathy is the bridge between souls. It doesn't mean agreeing with every word. It means feeling with you long enough to understand. In an empathy drought, you share a triumph and hear must be nice. You voice pain and get others have it worse. Each shrug tells you your inner world is a nuisance. Jung taught that intimacy demands two open hearts. Without empathy, conversation turns into a monologue. One voice matters, the other fades. Over time, you may silence your feelings to keep the peace, convincing yourself that needing less is mature. But starvation is not strength. Needs buried alive will dig tunnels of resentment. The body keeps score. Tight chest, restless sleep, sudden tears at small triggers. These signs whisper, I still matter. If the other person shows interest only when they need comfort or praise, the bridge is one way. A bond so lopsided will collapse under the weight of real life. Test the waters. Share something small that's important to you and watch the response. Do they lean in or look away? Empathy can be learned, but only if both care enough to try. If attempts to explain leave you unheard again, consider stepping back. Community exists where hearts meet halfway. Spotting this drought prepares you for the final move, turning insight into freedom. Ready to reclaim your story? The exit ramp is just ahead. Awareness is vital, but action seals change. Jung's solution was simple in concept, brave in practice. Make the shadow conscious. Here's a 3-step path to turn these 8 red flags into 8 gates you walk through, not into. First pattern. Journal for 30 days. Capture moments that pinch, sarcastic jokes, silent spells, self-betrayals. Write what happened, how you felt, and what need was ignored. Patterns emerge in ink. Seeing them breaks the spell of, maybe it's all in my head. 2. Boundary script. Choose one non-negotiable line that protects your well-being. It might be, I don't accept jokes about my body, or, if we argue, we discuss it before bed. Practice saying it aloud until it feels natural. The script anchors you when emotions rise. 3. Community mirror. Seek spaces, friends, groups, therapists, where your truest self is seen and safe. The mirror of healthy connection reflects back strength you forgot you had. It also shows new ways to live, making old cages feel small. Expect pushback. Patterns fight for survival. A gaslighter may deny louder. A controller may tighten rules. Sarcasm may sharpen. Hold steady. Boundaries are a lighthouse. They protect ships only when they stay lit through storms. Freedom is not the absence of struggle. It is the presence of choice. Each time you act from clarity, you reclaim a fraction of your story. Those fractions add up. One day you wake and notice the ground is yours again. No leash disguised as love. No joke that steals dignity. No silence that makes you beg. So, here is your final challenge. In the comments, write, I choose clarity. Let the words mark the spot where awareness became action. Subscribe if you want more tools for a clear, spacious life. Share this video with anyone still mistaking captivity for care. Your single click might hand them the key you just found. Clarity is not cruel, it is kind. It says, I see the wound and I'll no longer press it to prove I'm loyal. It trades blind faith for honest sight. And honest sight, once gained, never fully closes its eyes again. Thank you for walking this path with me. Your next chapter starts the moment you decide to step through the gate, and that moment could be right now. We've just walked through the 8 masks that turn love into a trap, cracked them open, and watched the shadow step into daylight. If even one warning sign rang true for you, remember, recognition isn't defeat, it's a doorway. Patterns lose their power the moment you name them. And every boundary you set writes a new line in your story. So pause, breathe, and let that clarity settle. When you're ready, claim it out loud by typing, "I choose clarity" in the comments. Because speaking truth is the first act of freedom. If this journey lit a lamp inside you, tap subscribe and keep the light growing. Share the video with someone still stumbling in the dark. Your story is yours to author now. Let the next chapter be written in your own bold hand.